We good?
Yep.
We're on? All right, welcome to the Irrigation Insights podcast. Excuse Ben over there chewing into the mic. He's got a whole basket of Halloween candy. All right, yeah, we do have a mute button.
Happy now?
Yeah, I got the sniffles, and he's got the munchies.
So what are you talking about today?
We got this, let me see that. See that packet here? What we got? The Service Titan report. What's it called? What's the title of that report there?
So this report, something he got from Service Titan, driving growth and profitability. We'll eventually say that word.
It's the it's the 2024 Exterior Trades Business Report.
And we got some stuff in here highlighted that we want to go over, because not everybody has this software. So there's a lot of key factors in here.
Yeah, Service Titan puts out all sorts of reports every year. And this is going to be, it's October, right? No, it's November.
No, it just started November. October's over.
Yeah, it's November now. So
that's why I have candy.
Yeah.
In case you didn't pick up on that, especially considering it's your candy.
Yeah, I got a bunch of it. So it's just now November. It's almost election time.
Are the kids really scared of scared of your house?
No.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Yeah, it's almost election time. We got this is going to be a little outdated. It's always a little behind. They put this out at the end of the year, but they surveyed 1,000 exterior trade contractors at the beginning of the year. So we're going to see what they have to say. You can see how you compare to this survey. Some of the findings here, like 53% of exterior trade contractors expected to increase their revenue in 2024. So only 53% of contractors expected to increase revenue in 2024. Well, where did you fall? Did you increase revenue in 2024?
Yeah, how much did we increase? By what percentage?
I would say we doubled. I don't know what percentage. I know we doubled. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look at the percentage. Year's not over. I wanted to go up by 200%. I don't think we did that.
No, but if we went up by, if the year's not over and you're already saying we're at 100%, there's a good chance we could get 120, 130, 140.
Yeah. Most of our months we were up 140 to 160%. So, yeah, we were definitely in that 53% that wanted to increase revenue. 30% of contractors surveyed, let's see, what is this? Wanted to use technology to, I guess, increase efficiency and customer expectations. What's this? Homeowners cite reputation. 71% of homeowners cite reputation is what they're looking for when selecting contractors.
So you mean the people they don't care about the price?
No, 71% don't care about the price.
They just want to know that they can tell you what to do, and then they don't have to worry about you stealing their kids' bikes out of their garage while you're working. That's what they care about.
Yeah, and that.
That comes with a funny story. You remember when that guy thought we stole his bike out of his garage?
He thought we stole a gun out of his car.
No, that was a different guy. I'm talking about there was a guy in Dallas that thought we took his actual riding bicycle out of his garage.
Oh, I don't know that one. What's that one?
I think it was a job I think it was one me and Ryan did. But yeah, the guy we did all this work for this guy. It took us like a couple days to get it done. And then he calls us back and he's like, "Hey, where's my bike?" And we're like, "Dude, why would we want your bike? What are we gonna do with your bike?" And so he finally calls back like 5 days later, and he keeps accusing us of stealing his bike. Finally, he calls back 5 days later, and he's like, "Hey man, I want to apologize. I pulled the Ring camera up. After y'all left, somebody came in from the back alley and walked into my garage and took my bike after y'all left." And I'm like, "Why would you exactly? Why would we want your bike?"
Oh, that's crazy. Well, so at least somebody actually stole his bike.
Yeah, no, somebody did steal his bike. He just thought it was us, and I'm like, "Dude, what do we want with your bike?"
That's crazy. We had a guy that thought we stole his gun. After we left, he called and accused us of stealing his gun. He's like, I want my gun back. And we're like, what are you talking about? He's like, you got into my car in the garage, took the gun out of the glove box. We're like, no way, dude. We didn't. He's like, yeah, you did. You're the only person that could have taken it. And then he went and left a bad review saying that we're criminals and we stole his gun.
So where did he find his gun?
On his counter, underneath his shirt.
That's crazy how people are.
How do you, I mean, you can't be losing guns.
People just want to point fingers first.
Yeah. He lost his gun on his counter.
Yeah.
And it took like 3 days for him to find it.
On his counter?
On his
3
counter.
days?
Yeah. Under his shirt. It's terrible.
Probably he finally went and did laundry.
Yeah. He did take the review down. That was nice. Yeah. But I had to reassure him like 2 or 3 times on the phone. Like, I promise you, we're not criminals. We did not take your gun. Nobody took your gun. Nobody wants it.
Yeah. Nobody wants your gun, dude.
Yeah. So that's...
Now, we have had customers steal stuff from us while we were working.
Really?
Yes. Shay's had that happen once. Ryan's had it happen once. I haven't had it happen yet, but it's happened twice now.
Like, actually steal stuff?
Yeah. Ryan said somebody tried to take his Sawzall one day.
A customer or just
a
somebody
customer?
down the street?
No, a customer.
What?
I'm telling you. But you can't go leave a customer a bad review.
No.
That would be sweet.
There is a website that they're trying to do that. It's just not very popular.
It needs to get popular.
Yeah, it's called Benji's List. It's like the opposite of Angie's List. Benji's List, where you can leave customer reviews.
Yeah, that needs to be as big as Google.
Yeah, it needs to get big. Leave those people reviews. Customers will take your equipment if you leave it. If you
if you leave it behind, I'm just talking about like steal it out of the truck while we're working type situations. If you leave it and you call them and say, "Hey, I left this behind. Do you still have it?" They're going to say no.
Yeah, yeah, I can see.
Especially, well, it depends on what you leave, right? If you leave like a set of like drip cutters, like yeah, you left these here. But if you leave like one of our like Milwaukee or DeWalt drills, they're going to say, no, you didn't leave that here.
Yeah, no, I don't see it in the garage. Sorry, it's gone. Yeah. That's what they're looking for. 71%. They care about your reputation. So get those reviews. Reputation's everything. Expertise, 58%. And workmanship,
54%.
Yeah.
So by this percentage, they could care less. They could care less if you have expertise or workmanship. The first thing that they're going to care about is your reputation. Which, to be fair, if your reputation's good, the other two things are going to follow. But that's what they're going to be looking for.
Yeah. Reputation's how they find you.
Yeah.
That's how they hear about you.
Let's go to this next part. This next part's kind of important too.
What's that? The residential service industry is undergoing a rapid change, and businesses that lean into the current digital transformation are at a major advantage to accelerating revenue growth compared to their competition.
This is something that I noticed because I can't tell you how many times I've went in somebody's garage, walked up to their timer, and a lot of people in like the newer parts of the area still have like the permit paperwork hanging from the controller. They'll have like invoices from other companies and like price sheets from other companies. I'm like, why are we still using?
Oh, it's all pen and paper?
Yeah, why? Like they'll be like handwritten invoices from other companies, and I'm like, what is this? Why are we still doing this? Why are we wasting paper on this?
That's crazy.
Nobody's going to keep up with that.
Pen and paper invoices.
Yeah,
I can't imagine.
It's so easy to digitize everything, and you get your database. You get to keep up with your warranty paperwork. Like, if you're still writing handwritten invoices, you got to give them a copy. Then you got to keep your copy.
Yeah, you got to turn it into the office.
Yeah, you got to start. You got to start having a room like all of our parents and grandparents did, like in their attic or in their utility closet, where they had like stacks of like, milk cartons with tax paperwork in it. Like nobody does that anymore.
No,
it's all digital.
Yeah, and you can't scale that way. All that stuff might work if you're a single operator, but you can't scale. You can't scale if you're still doing pen and paper.
No.
Talk to any company that has 5 technicians. They're not pen and paper.
No. They can't be. They'd never keep up with it.
No.
It's just hard enough to keep up with our freaking gas receipts.
And I'll tell you another thing. If you're still doing pen and paper invoices, what do you think the odds that they're collecting payment on site are?
Oh, well, if they're giving you a paper it depends if it's a paper invoice or a paper receipt. But I would still say, see, that's where it gets weird because a lot of companies like invoices because it just depends on what works best for each company.
I mean, I guess you could still have a paper receipt and collect payment on Stripe or something.
Yeah, or like one of the little readers or something.
Yeah. Stripe would be better. If I hire a company and they're like, you can Venmo me, I immediately lose trust.
Yeah, why? I mean, I wouldn't mind accepting that form of payment, but we can't accept that as a business.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like if I'm gonna hire, I think I hired a windshield guy, and he was like, "Yeah, Venmo me," and I'm like, "Well, as a business, I can't even do that. I need receipts. I got to write that off. I need to pay with my business credit card."
Well, I'm just saying if our digital software had a way to accept Venmo,
yeah, it doesn't.
But if it did, because that is the one thing that's funny. Once you Venmo someone, you can't get it back.
No.
It's not like a credit card where you can, dispute the transaction like you had to do a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't.
Yeah, speaking of even in our fully digital software where, we have 3 signatures before the job is done, we still have people disputing the transactions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. But
yeah, with 3 receipts, like, hey, you were told, you acknowledge that this is what you needed, you acknowledge that this is what you wanted, and you acknowledge that it got done, and you're acknowledging that you're paying for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're happy with it.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So there's that. The digital part of this is really starting to get really important.
Yeah, it's been important.
There's something important through here. Yes, this. That right there.
Let's see. Profit boosting tactics. 51% will evaluate overhead costs to increase profit.
And then this one.
64% will optimize labor costs to lower their expenses.
Optimize labor costs. Optimize is a pretty broad term. Now, most people would recognize that as, you're going to pay your guys less. When later in this packet, it says most companies over the last year, like maybe 2 or 3% didn't change their salaries. They didn't change anything. What they're doing is they're optimizing it. So by optimizing that, what that means is they're probably spending a lot of their resources trying to figure out how to make their guys net more money per hour.
Yeah.
Optimize. Okay, we can't raise your salary just yet, and we don't want to lower your salary to cut our overhead costs because we're going to make everybody mad because and this is later in the packet that in turnover, because we see this too. Employee turnover rates are terrible. We have 4 or 5 turnovers every couple months. It seems like.
Well, that's people that don't make it through our training program.
Well, I mean, it's not. Well, yeah, but that's still a part of the turnover.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, so they're sitting here thinking, well, we can't give you a raise to give you more incentive to make more money for us. We don't want to cut your salary because that's not what we want to do. So what they're doing is they're trying to figure out how to optimize it. Can we do something? Can we make the truck? Can we reorganize the trucks? Can we incentivize upselling? What can we do to get everything out of these guys with what we're paying them?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like pay for performance. To optimize labor costs, you're going to set up some type of pay for performance pay structure.
Like, okay, well, we can't pay you more, but if you want to convert a member, we'll give you $20.
Yeah.
When that membership's going to net you, $500-$600 over a year, you giving them $20 is nothing, but it's incentivized for them, and you're going to get more out of it.
Or paying for reviews. Right here, tactics to increase profit. 49% are upselling additional services.
Yes, that's another thing too.
I've heard there's only 3 ways to make more money. It's keep your customers coming back for more, increase your prices, or sell additional services.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only 3 ways. So if you can get your guys to sell additional services, you can pay them more without increasing their salary.
And this part too. I didn't highlight it, but that part too. That's more of a you question.
What is it here? 30% see digital transformation and online presence as the biggest opportunities for their business.
Yes.
29% will implement these solutions as a tactic
to increase profit.
Yeah.
Businesses are starting to realize that we need to do more. We need to do more things online. We can't just be running around with a magnet on the side of our truck doing word of mouth. We need to do more stuff online.
Well, and it's not even just digital advertising. Service Titan, they advertise that all of their companies on their software see big increases in profit, increases in average ticket, increases in revenue just by getting on their platform. And you probably look at that and think, is that true? But you tell me.
It's
we
very
signed
true.
up and it's gotten a lot better since we've been on Service. Just because you can see all of the data. You can see there's so much data on Service Titan. You can start tracking all your KPIs and know who's performing, who's not. Where do I need to tweak things?
So this is the next important thing too, because I've trained most of the guys that we hired over the years, and the biggest risk for exterior contractors over this survey that they did was labor shortages. And labor shortages can come in a couple different factors. Labor shortages can be you just can't find anybody, or for us it's been we can't find anybody that's good. And by good, that means they always have something going on with them. Either they're not motivated, they don't have, let's face it, they don't have the common sense to learn the skills that they need to think on their feet. That's a big thing when you got one guy running around that you're depending on to upsells. He's got to be able to think on his feet. He can't be calling your service manager or your owner every 5 minutes because he's got a question. He can't do that. He can. If he's got to talk with some other guys or maybe FaceTime other guys because he's got some questions here and there, that's fine. But you can't have a guy running around, especially with a customer behind you, because 20% of our customers are going to stand there and watch you or walk or with you. Mm-hmm. You can't be, even if we're talking about HVAC, you can't just go to this customer, right, and tell them that you're the expert, you know how to do this, let me take a look at it, and then go to the customer's HVAC unit and then pull up FaceTime, have another guy, and then just go over the unit with your camera and be like, hey, check this, and you're just sitting there doing what he's, that's not going to work.
No, they got to be able to diagnose.
And as your favorite word is, it's not sustainable.
No, yeah.
And and that's the biggest thing that we've ran into is finding guys that have all of the personality traits and the skills, to go where we need them to go. We've had a very, very, very high turnover rate with that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people haven't made it through our training program. And if you can't make it through our training, then we're not going to keep you.
No.
Yeah, I think hiring on personality is probably the best. You need somebody who's motivated, eager to learn, that has common sense. Critical thinking is so important. That is a hard thing to find, it seems.
Yeah, it's very hard. And as this one says right here, employee turnover and increased competition for talent.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You have all these companies that are starting to go to this format, and there's less and less talented people. It's kind of like, the old saying goes, I think my dad, probably your dad, and probably some older people have said this, if you're 50 and you're recently divorced and you're looking at this 35-year-old, good-looking girl and she's single, there's probably a reason why. Yeah. Same thing in the job pool, right? If you're going to hire this guy that says he's got all this experience and he knows how to do this, and even if he's goes through your interview process, you have to sit there and think, why is this guy jobless? Why does this guy not have a job?
Oh, yeah. All the people you want have jobs.
Yes.
If they don't have a job, I don't even like hiring people that don't have jobs, really.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's almost better to go and find people out in the world that, hey, how'd you like to go somewhere else?
Yeah.
We've only had,
very few that didn't have a job. Is that what you're thinking about?
Yeah, I don't think anybody. I think everyone we have had a job before this.
That turned out to be successful. Everybody that didn't have a job, we had to let go.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had no positive turnover on hiring somebody, just off the street, off of one of the, job application formats. And we even had a test. We had a test. We had a personality test. We even had in-face interviews. We still had a 100% turnover rate on people that we got from there. We've only had good success with people that had jobs that were already, either maybe not so much happy where they were, but at least, able to be comfortable a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's another trick with some people too, is getting them to come out of that comfort zone. Hey, I know you're comfortable, but how'd you like to be up there? And they'll tell you that they want to be up there, but they don't want to get out of that little comfort zone. They get in that little bubble and they want to stay there.
Yeah. No doubt. And that, increased competition. I see people posting they're looking to hire, but you're going to have to you got to really think about hiring people as advertising, because they'll just post like, Charleston, South Carolina, hiring irrigation techs, $17 an hour, must have experience. And that's the job post. And it's like, who wants to work for that? There's no, you got to be enticing. You got to have, you need to have benefits. You need to make people want to work for you. You're going to have to, because there's so much competition, people need to want to work for you. You need to make your job postings scream like, come work for me.
Yeah.
You should want to work for me.
Your job posting should look just as professional as your advertisements.
Oh, yeah. And you should probably put as much money into job postings as you do advertising, because people will spend $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month on advertising, but then when they go to hire, they'll
just throw up some lousy Facebook post.
Yeah, or maybe $500 on Indeed, and that's it. And then when that doesn't work, they'll go to Facebook and say, "Well, I can't hire. Nobody wants to work."
Yeah, that's not what it is. Is you're not drawing the people that you want.
Yeah. Your ad sucks.
We
got
people
to want to work for you.
Yeah, we got an insurance agent to work for us.
Yeah.
And that was all that he was hired off of our job post.
Yeah, was it?
Our actual
The Facebook job post?
the actual custom built one that you had made.
Yeah. It's got to be enticing. People should see your job posting and be like, I want that. And
hiring good people is a big part of the business. That's for sure.
Once you get one or two, that'll take a lot of effort, and then get them to bring in their friends. Once I hired you and Michael, you brought in everybody else. You brought in several people.
Yeah.
We didn't really have to start making Facebook posts until last.
We were at 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, until
So anyway, this is another thing that I thought was cool. So this is a survey on tactics to reduce costs, and we already talked about optimizing labor costs, and that falls into the next thing is reducing employee turnover. And that's something that kills us. We had 4 or 5 guys that turned over last year, and
this year
2 of those guys worked for us for 2 months before we got rid of them. So they costed us money. And these are all just things that companies have done to reduce the cost. 64% was optimize labor costs, 38% was reduce employee turnover. And that, by reducing employee turnover, that also comes from the factor of, if you have one of your guys quit. Well, if he was one of your best guys, why did he quit? If he was your best guy and he quit, you probably have something you need to do. If he went somewhere else, then obviously you need to be more competitive.
No doubt.
And then technology adaptation, employee training is good, marketing efficiency. You got to figure out what makes sense to spend on it. Then all this other stuff, evaluate fleet costs, who's spending more money in gas, all that stuff, who's harder on vehicles, all that kind of stuff. All this little stuff that comes in later. But the 3 biggest things are going to be optimizing labor costs, reduce the employee turnover, get better guys in your hiring process. Don't lose the guys that you have that are good. And then technology adaptation.
Yeah.
Digitize everything. Don't be writing paper invoices. Nobody wants that.
Yeah, no doubt. It costs a lot of money to train people. You bring in 4 people at a time. We hired 4 people at once and train them. That's expensive. It's expensive to do that.
Yeah, especially considering when you hire 4 people at once, chances are only one of them is going to make it.
Yeah.
You hire 4 people, there's a high chance that only one of them is going to be good and only one of them is going to make it.
Yeah, it's expensive.
There's if you look at like take for example, fire departments. When they hire people, they'll have one job opening. They'll let 150 people go through their hiring process, and they'll have like 8 steps to weed them out. Okay, you make it through this step, cool. Can you make it through this step? Can you make it through this step? Can you make it through this step? And a lot of times, they'll get down to the last step, and there'll only be 3 or 4 guys left.
Mm-hmm.
They only had one job post. They only had one position that was open. They had 150 people qualify for it or apply for it. Now they get down to the last step, and they're down to 3 or 4. And more than likely, that last step's going to kill the other 3.
Yeah.
So, hiring one person at a time is not the tactic either.
No. But
you want to hire 4 people with the intention of only keeping one of them.
Yeah. You got to have to do that. You got to have a work environment that people want to work for. You can't just no benefits, low pay. We're always working late, working weekend. Just a crappy work environment. And then expect everybody to come want to work for you. All you're going to get is a bunch of people. All they can do is fog a mirror.
Micromanaging. Cut that down.
Yeah, micromanaging.
Yeah.
The system. You look at me. I'm not too bad.
Yes.
No, I'm pretty good. I don't think I micromanage enough sometimes. No, it's the systems. It's the systems that do the managing.
Oh, yeah, with you pressing the button behind them.
Yeah. Let's see.
You know how many times I've called you and asked you what you were doing, and you were refreshing the iPad trying to figure out what was going on?
Yeah. I still watch.
I know you still watch.
But it's all right. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just watching.
This is the other thing. Yes. Look at this.
Another way to combat increased cost.
50% of the companies that they surveyed decided that they were going to raise their prices by 4 to 5%.
Yeah, and that's not even that much, really. That's crazy.
No. And then you got 6% that were doing 6 to 10, 4% that were doing 10%.
Or more.
And here's the weird thing. 20% of the companies they surveyed have no plans to increase.
That's crazy.
It's not crazy. This 20% is the companies that have already found where they want to be.
Maybe so, yeah.
These are all the companies that are still growing, so they're going up.
Maybe that's what that is.
Yeah. This increase by 2 to 3 and increase by 4 to 5 are the growing companies. These ones that are increasing by 6 to 10 or increasing by 10% are probably the companies that are struggling, so they're trying to offset their costs by prices instead of doing some of the other steps.
Yeah, I think most people in the irrigation industry definitely need to increase their prices by probably 100%. What I see,
yeah.
What I see on the
around
Facebook
here,
groups.
yes.
Yeah, especially if you're running solo and you have plans to grow. If you want to be competitive, if you want to hire people and be competitive as an employer, pay good wages, have benefits, have nice vans, you're gonna have to increase your prices. I still see prices way too low. And you're just not going to make it.
No, the problem is you're killing us. We're still going to have the good reputation, but you're really just killing yourself.
Yeah, you're hurting yourself. And what we found when we raised prices was the same people that said no still said no, and the same people that said yes still said
yes.
There's no change. The only thing is now you have more money to give back to your employees to grow the business.
Yep.
homeowners' hiring experience.
What the customers look for.
Customer journey, let's do this, consists of awareness, consideration, research, action. What customers look for: positive reviews, referrals, word of mouth.
Expertise and experience. Quality of workmanship, competitive pricing, timeliness, and punctuality.
So what customers look, competitive pricing is only 35% of what customers look for.
Yeah. They care more about if you know what you're doing and what your reviews are. Because when they look at your reviews or referrals or word of mouth, the 71%, they want to trust you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they trust you, they don't care what your price is. They don't care how long it's going to take. Obviously, if they trust you, the quality of work's going to follow with it. They're not going to care about that because they know that that's going to come with the fact that they trust you. It's easy.
Yeah, trust is the biggest thing.
If you're every customer that we have that just for no reason doesn't want to trust us, that's always a bad experience. Because once that's not there, then they automatically care about the rest. And a lot of times, like he said, the people that we're gonna say yes are still gonna say yes, and the people who are gonna say no, no matter what you do, are still only mostly gonna care about what's this gonna cost and how good is it gonna be, because they don't trust you. Every time you see a customer that does that, it's because they don't have this first thing. Whether that be because of something you did or just because they don't want to trust you because they've had other contractors that were not trustworthy and they're done trusting people, that's another thing.
Yeah.
But without this first thing, you can't get by with any of the rest.
Yeah, I mean, if you give somebody a price and they shoot you down, I mean, it really has less to do about your price and more to do about
how you're presenting it.
Yeah, how you're presenting it, the relationship you built. They don't see the value in it. They don't trust you. They might say you're expensive, but that's not what they mean. What they mean is, I don't trust you enough to give you my money yet.
Yes.
And that you need to fix that. And if you do everything right and they still say it, then maybe they're not your customer.
No. Because they have no issue going to the mall and buying a set of Oakleys or Ray-Bans or buying a new purse, buying a new car. They have no problem doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't feel
because,
bad.
And you know why they don't have a problem doing that? Because they trust the product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so, when you show up to a mansion and they got 4, 5, 6 cars in the driveway, BMWs, Mercedes, motorcycles, 7,000 square foot, and you hit them at $400, and they're like, no, it's way too much.
They're not your customer.
They're not your customer, yeah.
Just the way it is. I think that might have been everything I had highlighted.
I'm going to go through.
Oh, no. This is good.
See what else we got in here.
71% of businesses with annual revenue of 10 to 50 million focused on exceptional customer service. Their main goal is customer service. The presentation. How do we look when we pull up? How are our guys presenting our products or our services? Basically the frontline people, the guys you have getting out of the truck and ringing the doorbell. That's what they care about.
This is interesting. So 71% of businesses between 10 and 50 million focused on exceptional customer service. And they looked at exceptional customer service as a brand differentiator versus only 44% of companies below 10 million looked at customer service as a brand differentiator. And I believe that. I just saw a Facebook post on the Irrigation Tech Talk or whatever that Facebook page is. And, the guy he was posting, they're texting about prices. And the guy, he's texting prices. He just texted the guy a price. And the customer replied like, oh, I think that's too much. And the guy said, all right, have a nice day. This is like there's no process. There's no system. There's no customer service in that. I mean, of course they're going to say it's too much. If they're like, hey, I want this done, and you say, all right, it's this much. Well, I think that might be a little too much. Okay, have a nice day. Good luck. Where's the customer service in that? Where's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and not to say that it's not the worst thing in the world to do, but the part of it is there's no
relationship.
There's no he didn't even try to build a relationship with that customer, which when you get so many of these, like, yeah, you can understand how people do this because, you get some people that, if you hit them at $400, they want it done for $20. Well, that's just not happening.
No, it's not happening.
But also too, how do you set yourself apart in this exceptional customer service at 71%? How do you do that over a text message?
Yeah,
You don't.
No, that's what I was thinking. You need to have you need to have a sales.
Another
process.
thing too, why are you texting your prices out?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you need to have a process.
All you're doing. Here's what you're doing. If you're texting prices or you're sending them, a price sheet or something like that, here's what they're doing. They're going to take that price sheet, and more often than not, they're going to say, okay, well, that's too much. And then they're going to call another company, and the other company is going to quote them higher or lower. And if it's lower, they're going to say, all right, cool. Or if it's higher, they're going to say, well, I had another company that was going to do it at $400. And all that other company has to say is, well, we'll match that price. And then they're going with them.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing is setting yourself up for failure.
Yep. And I get the,
you've got to sell it to where the price is irrelevant.
Oh yeah, the price. You got to make the price irrelevant.
Yeah,
and that's what goes back to
because if the whole relationship there is about the price, you're not getting anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
You're at a pawn shop making a deal is what you're doing.
Yeah. And that's not what we're here to do. You have to, if they want to text, if they text you and say, oh, I want a price for this. My next text would be, hey, do you have a minute to hop on the phone? Like I want to get you on the phone, or can I come out there?
Let me talk to you.
Yeah. Well, I want to get you on the phone. I want to get out to your house, something. Because that's where you're going to make the sale, not just sending a text. Oh, it's this much. Do you want to do it? Yes or no? There's no customer service there. You're not going to close the deal. And I know it's frustrating.
And so many companies, this is where you got to figure out. You got to stop wanting their money. You got to want them. If you can want them and get them to want you, they'll spend the money.
Yeah.
They'll spend, up to 30 or 40% more than what the work is worth if they like you. Because they'll go and tell their neighbors when their neighbors tell them, oh, that's a lot more than what I pay. That customer's immediate. We have people all the time, when we try to sell them on, yard treatments, we'll tell them, hey, we can come in cheaper for what your yard guy's already doing it. The number one response I get to that is, well, I like my yard guy. I trust my yard guy. I want to stay with them. They're willing to pay more money because they like you.
Yeah.
So when somebody else comes in, same thing, with the services, when their neighbors say, well, I pay less than that. Why are you paying so much? Well, I like this guy. I'm going to keep him.
Yeah, because they're not.
The price is irrelevant.
Yeah, they're not going to take the risk of changing. Now
now
there's an issue, and
they've already
can't go back to you.
They've already built a relationship with that person.
Yeah, and you got to. I know, like being a owner operator and having to do all this sucks. If you don't like it, you got to get somebody else to do it, because this is how you got to try on every single call, every customer interaction. You have to try to get your numbers up, track your KPIs. What's your conversion rate? Because that post I saw, that's a lead that you did not close, and that's a mark against you, and you need to be tracking that. That's a sale you didn't make. That's a call you didn't book. That's 2 marks against you, really. And you need to be tracking that. Every single one you got to track, because that's how you get better. That's how you make your business better. And you want to be one of these companies that's focused on exceptional customer service. That's how you grow.
Yeah, and then see, this is another thing too. Why? If you're going out to somebody's house and they're saying, hey, even if you just get the one person that says, hey, lightning struck my house, or we had a power outage, I just want my controller replaced. Okay, well, it's $500. Why are we doing that? We need you're not, when it comes down to selling products to a customer, especially with something easy as a timer, right? Because there's a lot in irrigation, there's a lot of different options in any price point. I would favor to guess that if you could, if you had the products on hand, that's another thing that we don't do, is we don't like selling products that we don't have on hand. Because every time we do that, we get customers wanting to get prices, on Amazon or, stuff like that, We want to sell it right there. We want to put it in, start the warranty process, make the customer happy that they bought it from us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and, you know, you can nullify stuff like this by taking deposits and stuff like that. But, you know, I would favor to guess with something easy as a timer. You could probably offer 10 different options on a controller in every price point, every single price point.
Yep.
Starting at, you know, probably starting as low as $150 all the way up to, you know, $1,000 or $1,200, depending. That all depends on the size, you know, what you're doing.
How many zones?
You know, you want to give the customer options. You don't want to feel like, all right, you need your controller replaced, $500.
Yeah.
Why would you? No.
Yeah, that's an ultimatum.
Yeah.
They have one option, yes or no.
If somebody came to my house and my garage door was out, and they said, all right, well, you got to have a new garage door. That's $5,000 or whatever it is. Like, I don't feel like I was given an option here.
Yeah. I'd be like, maybe I want to get another opinion.
What you want to do is you want to say, okay, well, you know, let's go back to that. We'll just use it as an example. Yeah, okay, so your garage door is out. So here's what we could do. We could replace the motor. We get it working again. Or we could bring you up to a new one, you know, that's more energy efficient, that's Wi-Fi compatible if you don't have it. And, you know, have a couple different options. You know, if they want to pick the cheap option, then they're going to pick it anyway. But if you give them options, they're less likely to go elsewhere because now they feel comfortable. They feel like they're in control again. Like, okay, I like that price, but I also like this stuff.
Yeah.
If they feel like they've got options and they don't feel trapped, they're going to want to talk to you. And usually once you give them the options, we give them all the prices, let them think about it. Usually in most sales cases, and this is going to sound kind of poetic or kind of like, you know, a movie line, but after you give them everything, usually the next person that speaks loses.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know, if you've got guys that are not confident in themselves and they give all the prices and the customer's looking and the guys, well, I could offer you 10% here. And like, no, keep your mouth shut. Let the customer tell you what's going on. Because you don't never know what each customer is going to say. One customer could say, well, that's way too expensive. I'm not paying that. And the next person can say, wow, that's kind of cheap.
Yeah.
I want that.
Got to give them time to process.
Which in both scenarios, your foot's going right in your mouth because I offered it too cheap or I didn't offer it enough, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, the customer will tell you what's wrong. You know, that, well, that's a little more than I was expecting to spend today. Or the easiest one and the one I like the best is, well, I do want this, but that's a little out of my price range. Oh, that's easy. Well, what was your price range? And then they give you the price range, and then all you got to do is figure out, well, can I match that?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can say, well, okay, what can we do this price on it? Let the customer sell themselves. That's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, we're gonna do a whole episode on sales.
Yeah, I know, but it was fun to get into for a little bit.
Yeah, no, but people have such a bad attitude on sales. I see it all the time, but really all it is just letting the customer make. All you're doing is offering options, letting them choose what they want for their home.
The biggest thing is not carrying this. Every person is different. Why are we carrying the same attitude for every person?
Yeah, and why are you making the choices
for them?
Yeah, for them. You're showing up assuming that they're only going to spend $300 or $200, or
if that's all you ever assume, that's all you're ever going to get.
Mm-hmm. Or assuming they only want to fix this one thing, or don't make that decision for them. Let them decide what's best for their home. Here we are.
Brand differentiation.
Yeah, more good reviews. 82% of contractors perceived reputation and
good reviews as the most important brand differentiator. If you're trying to build a brand, you want people to recognize you, that's where you need to go.
Yep.
Because nobody cares about your brand if they go and look at your reputation and it's a 2.3 on Google.
No. Got to have good reviews. Exceptional customer service, 60%. Premium quality and workmanship, 56%.
I would challenge everyone, just in their own life, even as a business owner. If you buy a product and the product doesn't do what it's supposed to do, if it breaks, when you call that company, I would favor to guess that if you called that company and tell them, hey, I'm having this issue with the product, and they say, well, too bad, it's out of warranty, there's nothing we can do, and they hang up, I would bet you 100% that you are never going to buy another product from that company. Never. You're going to find a different company. Every customer wants to feel like they've either been heard or got what they wanted or got ahead. That's easy. Nobody wants to call a company they just spent a couple $1,000s with and have them say, well, too bad, the guys are already gone, it's out of warranty, figure it out. Nobody wants that. Even if when they're out of warranty, we still work with people.
Oh yeah.
Because we want to keep them as a customer.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll take it case by case if it's out of warranty. I mean, if you spent $200 with us over a year ago, haven't called us since, and it's out of warranty, maybe not. But $5,000 with us and it's out of warranty, yeah. I mean, we're gonna help you out.
Yeah. And with us, when they call, okay, well, let me get you, you talk to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good thing about digital too, is I don't have to go to a filing cabinet and figure out what they did. I can pull their profile up in Service Titan.
Yeah, see how much they spent, how many times they called, what they got done,
all their text messages.
Yeah, and another thing, what tech did it? How many different techs have been out there?
How many, what CSR agent answered the phone? I can listen to the call recordings. I can see all the estimates we've ever given them, which one they accepted, all their signatures, every document, every form. I can see everything.
And see if, when you have customers that want to be, pushy, most of the time you don't want to, we all want to tell the customer to get lost, when they're being, let's face it, a pain in the ass, But when you have all this digital stuff, you have the power against them if you want to use it. If they want to say, well, they didn't tell me this over the phone. Okay, well, how about this? And I've done this a couple times. I got your call recording right here. If they told you that the service fee was waived, if I play this and they told you and they didn't tell you about our service fee, I won't charge you. But if they told you it's there, I'm charging you double.
Yeah, you have done that, yeah.
Yeah. You want to play? Or just, okay, well, if it's there, you're paying it. If it's not there, I won't charge you. Depending on how far you want to push it. If you get to a point where you feel like the customer just being, too forward with you and all they're trying to do is just get free money out of you. Okay, well, let's see how far we can go with this.
Yeah. I've seen that on the Facebook groups too, though. They're refusing to pay. We got the call recordings. We'll play it right in front of you.
Yeah.
We got it. I mean, but that also comes back to reputation. I mean, you have to decide
what's worth it and what's not.
Yeah, what's worth. Are you going to get a bad review over your service call?
Or if they're already leaving a bad review, or if they already have left a bad review, like, okay, well,
yeah, if they already left one, I'm getting that service call.
Yeah,
if they haven't yet, is it worth it? I don't think it's worth it.
Especially if they got a signature, we're sending that bad boy to collections.
Yeah, you can't do that, and it takes about 28 or 29 5-star reviews to make up for one 1-star. So you got to factor that in. I mean, I don't want a 1-star for a service call.
No.
But we've had some customers that after they signed off on $3,000 worth of work say they're not going to pay. I'll risk it for that.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
And that's also why you have to keep getting 5-stars. You got to get them everywhere you go. That way, when you get somebody who signs 3 times on a $3,000 job.
Yeah, even when you go through the credit card companies or go through collections, even after you get all your money, that 1-star review is still there.
Yeah, it's still going to be there.
You can't dispute Google. They're not taking it down.
Yeah, they're not going to take it down. So you got to keep getting the 5-star reviews. Because we've had people sign off and then say, "Well, I'm not paying," and it's like, "Yeah, you are."
Yeah, you are.
And then we get the money, and then they go leave a bad review, and there's just nothing you can do about it. I'd rather have the $3,000 and take the 1-star than walk away from that. And you just got to take it. And so, this is probably good to bring up too. Some 1-star reviews are good to have. I don't mind having a few.
Yes, it makes you more credible.
Yeah. I think if you have 200 5-stars and 0 1-stars, it's kind of fishy. Having a few 1-stars, people saying you're expensive, that's not, who cares if they say you're expensive? That doesn't reflect bad on you.
I've actually had customers tell me that they go through our 1-star reviews and they laugh at some of them
Yeah.
because they're comical. Some of them are comical.
They see those, oh, these people were trying to charge us this much and it's a rip. They'll leave you a 1-star even if all you did was give them a free estimate. We've given free estimates that got 1 stars.
Yeah, we have.
And, that's not a big deal. Or the bad ones that you don't want are, I spent all this money. I'm still having issues. They won't answer my phone calls. They won't come back, or they try to charge me again, and it should be under warranty. I just spent $1,000 a week ago. I'm still having issues. They said it's going to be another $1,000. Those are the ones you don't want.
No, because that kicks back to your expertise and workmanship and all that stuff.
Yeah, people will read that, but just somebody saying you're expensive or.
I've had quite a few customers that say they only read our 1-star reviews, and that's how they determine our credibility.
Yeah, I feel like people are going to go to your reviews, especially us. I mean, we have like 1,500 reviews, so at that point, we're a 4.9. We have like 1,500 reviews. They're not going to read all the 5 stars. They might read 2 or 3. Then they're going to look at all the 1 stars, and that's it.
Yeah,
and they're going to see. Here's this lady complaining about price. Here's this person complaining about price. Nobody cares. They're just, because all that's subjective. Somebody might say it's expensive. What's expensive to one person isn't to another. We've had people complain about, people will complain about, I remember selling backflows for $300 when we first got started, and we were not making money at all.
And people were complaining.
About that, So it's like, you can't.
It was like the other day, that, we found a review on Milestone's page, and it was 3 out of 5 star. And the lady was like, well, they charged me $4,000 for a backflow or $5,000, something ridiculous. And the only thing she had to say was, the price was ridiculous. She paid it. And she said the guys were great. The customer, the experience was great. They did a great job. It was clean. They offered me a good warranty. I just didn't like the price. But she still paid it.
Yeah.
She still paid it, and she was still happy.
Yep.
And she knowingly knew that it was a rib. She paid for it because she had a good customer experience. She felt like her needs were satisfied. And, it came with the warranty that she wanted. She got the things that she wanted. She just thought it was a little too much.
Yeah, and it probably was. I mean, maybe it was located right next to a tree. Who knows? Yeah.
But the point of it is that she paid it.
Yeah,
regardless.
Paid it. Yeah, and that wasn't even that bad of a review.
Yeah,
3 out of 5.
Yeah, 3 out of 5. She still paid it. And she didn't hurt the company's reputation because she said in there, the guys were great, the work was clean, it was done right. She didn't hurt the company's reputation.
No. Only the customer can decide whether or not. That's what I don't like. I don't like a company, I don't like other people saying, oh, that's a ripoff. Only the person paying for it can decide whether it's a ripoff. If they're happy, if you go out and offer somebody $5,000 for a backflow, say it's $5,000 to do this backflow. If the customer says, okay, great, they pay it and they're happy, it was not a ripoff to them. And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Anybody else can holler, hoop and holler. Doesn't matter. All that matters was your customer was happy and you're happy.
Get towards the end here. Why are we doing this again?
What? Huh.
Last thing. Social media and websites.
Yeah.
This is something that I would like to see somebody either figure out or somebody pave the way in, because there just doesn't seem to be good business acquisition, as good a business acquisition on social media as you would think there would be. And this is the percentages on it.
Yeah, most exterior contractors still rely on association websites.
30%.
Yeah. Manufacturer and supplier websites.
28%.
Social media is still low. YouTube 16%, LinkedIn 13%.
LinkedIn.
Yeah. Facebook 12, Instagram 9, Twitter 8, TikTok 4, Reddit 4.
There's very, very low percentages on social media. And I think that has a lot to do with how social media targets people, which is strange because, on Facebook, you can literally target people by age group. You can almost target people by salary if they know what it is. I mean,
I think you can by salary.
You can
You
target.
used to be able to by homeowner.
You can target people so directly on social media, but somehow it never works. And there's a reason. I think here's my theory on it is if I take this and throw it through your window right there, you're not gonna go. You're gonna be like, "Fuck, he just broke my window." What are you gonna do? You're gonna go on your phone. You're gonna open Safari or Google or whatever you use on your phone. You're gonna Google.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna Google window repair near me. You're not gonna go to a Facebook group and say, "There's very few people that go to a Facebook group and say, hey, I need a window replaced in my house. Do you have recommendations?"
Yeah.
Not on something like that. Now, if they know they're wanting to get new windows, yes. But
Immediate repair.
It's the immediate needs that don't go to social media. And most people procrastinate. Most people wait till it's necessary. If they pull up to their house after a day of work and their sprinklers are going off and they've already, ripped the controller off the wall or whatever the stupid shit that they always do, they're not going to Facebook. They're not going to go to Facebook while there's, 100 gallons a minute running out of their yard and say, hey, do you have a good sprinkler guy? I've seen maybe just a few people do that. They're going to go straight to Google. They're going to Google, irrigation or sprinkler repair near me, and they're going to start calling.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to find the company with the earliest availability.
Yeah, whoever's answering the phone. If you don't answer, you lost it. You lost that lead.
Yeah, but
that's a good lead.
I think that's why social media doesn't do as well.
Yeah.
Now I think social media is great for brand recognition. Getting people, and that's all that billboards and stuff like that are for.
Yeah, that's all that is.
When you
retargeting.
Around here. Dallas Cowboys, when you're driving down the road and you see it, the corner of your eye sees a billboard and it sees that star. You're going to look at it because your brain knows, hey, Dallas Cowboys star, and you're going to look up and it's going to say Whataburger, official burger of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. I've seen concrete plants that have that star on there.
Yeah. Superscapes has it.
Yeah.
Superscapes, the official landscape company of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
But they have that giant star on the side of their truck and people see that star and they're like, oh, Dallas Cowboys, and then they see the ad. It's brand recognition. That's all it is. And the only reason your brain does that because your brain knows what it is. Your brain wants to look at it. So you look at it and then you read it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can use Facebook for that. We don't.
Well, it's repetition.
Mm-hmm.
You see it. When you drive through Dallas, you see Dallas Cowboys stuff everywhere.
Yeah. There was a Harvard study done, I don't remember when, over 20 years ago, I think it used to say that your brain had to see something like 6 or 7 times before it would register.
Yeah.
So you'd have to see a sign. Now it's up to it's 16 or 17 times or almost 20 times. It's up a lot. So your brain has to see something a lot before it'll ever register.
Yeah. And social media is the only thing that I can see it being good for is, running ads, showing your brand.
Yeah.
So that way when the people get out in the world and they see your logo or whatever you have, like, oh, we've seen this before. They look at it.
Yeah. I can see it working out for remodelers, pool builders, something that they can show, even landscapers, if they can show something that doesn't have to be done immediately, but is also visually pleasing. But, irrigation repair, even irrigation installs, it's going to be tough. You could do a video, a sped up video, 15 seconds of an install beginning to finish. Maybe people will watch it, but then again, it's going to be tough. Most people have systems. So you're targeting a very small group of people that don't and want one.
Social media is hard. It's just hard.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard to work with. It doesn't satisfy the immediate needs of people.
No. But people do go to those groups. And they will ask if it's not an emergency. They will ask. And there's 1 million people on there.
Yeah, there's going to be, as soon as you find it, there's already 150 comments. And more, and that's a funny thing too. Most people probably even get overwhelmed by that.
Oh yeah, I sure.
You're not going to sit there and read through 150 comments,
No.
especially when you got a guy named a guy named Jerry, and let's say you put that post out there, and you go to the comments. You're the person that put the post up. You start reading the comments, and you see Jerry's irrigation repair, and then the guy that posted it is Jerry.
Yeah.
That's self-promotion.
Exactly.
That's not. They're going to look at that. Well, that's not a recommendation. That's just somebody in here, promoting themselves.
Promoting their own business. I see that all the time. And the one around here, it's always the same people. There's like 7 or 8 people. Whenever sprinkler repair is brought up, there's like 8 people that always promote their own business.
Yeah. And they're always on top of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're quick. They're quick with it.
They got notifications turned on. They're ready.
Yeah. People could almost just search and go through and find it. Let's see if there's any
people we have around here are stupid.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think Google is going to be but you got to answer the phone too. Speed deleted is people don't want to wait around. When they call you, when they message you, they are ready to talk. Chirp did another study. You got even when they fill out a form on your website, they're ready to talk. You have 3 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes from the time they fill out a form on your website to talk to them. After that, the chances of them being the chances of you converting that lead drop 50% after 3 minutes.
Yeah, because they filled it out for immediate needs.
Yeah, they filled it out. They're ready to talk. After once you hit 15 minutes, it's down. I mean, if you wait, if you're a solo operator, that's why I think the first thing you should do is hire a CSR, because if your hands are in a hole and you're fixing a leak,
somebody calls you.
Yeah, I mean
you might as well just say goodbye to that. You might as well not even answer.
Yeah. And then you get in the truck at the end of the day, and you got 4, 5, 6, 10 website form fills that have been coming throughout all the day.
Yeah, very few people that are going to be that patient.
And you think I'm going to call them? I'm going to call these people back at the end of the day?
We know it's wrong. We don't like it, but the 2 things you got to remember about people: they wait to the last minute. They're impatient. If you got to figure out how to work with that,
yeah,
you just do.
There's no doubt about it. They will wait till they need you right now, and when they need you, they want you right now.
And the attitude of saying, "Well, you should have called sooner," it won't get you anywhere.
No.
Are you right? Yes. Is it going to help you? No.
Yeah. That was the deal. That was the deal with that Facebook post. The guy, he wanted a winterization same day. And I think that was why he kind of blew it off and just texted him a price and told him good luck. But it's dude, this is your business. If you take it seriously, you should be trying to book that. Because, I mean, yeah, should he have waited till this, a Friday or whatever, or a Saturday? Maybe not, but
no. And should he be telling the contractor that that's too much when he's not a professional? No, but he's going to do it anyway.
Yeah, he's going to do it anyway.
You got to be ready for that.
Yeah,
you got to be ready to deal with that.
This is all part of running a business.
As soon as you start seeing people as money, it's not going to help you.
Yeah, I think too many people are getting, and it's easy to do, but they get salty, or they get they have this enemy mentality of a us versus them.
Why don't you just say it's an I don't give a fuck mentality?
Yeah.
And just call it what it is, and then we can move on.
That's what it is. You're not gonna grow that way.
No.
Just get somebody else. If you're in the truck by yourself, hire somebody else to handle the leads. That way you don't have to take that attitude to the customer. Let them just book that call and put it on your schedule. And then you're going to show up and be like, oh, guess I'm doing this. Guess we're doing all this work. You wouldn't have booked it, but they will. The person whose job it is to do nothing but solely book jobs, they're going to do it. They're going to book the jobs that you wouldn't want to do. They're not going to bring all that.
Yeah, and I've had people be pissed off the entire time, well, that's too high of a price, and I don't like you, and I don't like y'all's company. I don't like this. As they're signing and paying for it, as they're signing everything, paying for it, you do the work at the end. Well, I still don't like you, blah, 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 and then you leave, and they say, have a good day. They just wanted to bitch.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
As long as you're paying for it and you're not leaving a bad Google review, I'll stand there if I got a guy signing, on a couple $1,000 estimate and he's bitching, and I know he's not going to leave a bad Google review. I'll sit there and listen to him bitch all day. That's fine.
yeah. I think when you're out there, it's you and him against the company.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. Because we got flat rate pricing, the prices in the price book. That's what sales is really about. It's you and him against the company. The prices are set, so it's how can y'all?
He says, how can I persuade you to make it go my way?
Yeah.
And then it's all up to how much you want to bend.
Yeah. I mean, you're just trying to figure out how can you get him what he wants at a price that
you want.
Yeah, that y'all
or
are
that
both
you're
happy
comfortable with.
Yeah, that we can work with and that he's happy to spend. And
and there's a lot of different methodologies. Like, take the fucking security guy that came over here to your house and was like, all right, well, this is the big package. It was fucking super expensive. He's like, but you don't want that.
oh yeah. Yeah. They did, yeah. Like $12,000. I know you probably don't want this. So just go ahead and sign here,
You don't want this. Let's go to the next one. Then we start getting into
Yeah,
where he realized, okay, this guy just wants this thing. He should get all this, but he's not going to do that. So let's get somewhere in the middle where he can be happy and I can be happy and we can have a good relationship. What was that, Mr. I only want one camera?
Yeah, it was like almost 2,000. I even told my wife too, right before, I was like, we got a $500 voucher. That should buy one camera. I might get a second for the back porch. I only plan on spending like $300 out of pocket. We spent $2,000.
Yeah. What it all? Yeah.
So it's like, and that just came from him. And he didn't. All he did was make sense. All he did was just explain how things work and made things make sense. It was like, why would you buy cameras if you don't have sensors? All cameras are going to do is let you watch somebody rob your house. Why don't you get sensors and stuff first and put sensors on all your windows, all your doors. Let's do that before we even talk about cameras. And then that was like $1,200 just for the sensors, and everything just made sense. It's like, all right, well, let's do this. That's what sales is about.
Yeah, it's kind of like, when people have us come out, well, I want to put a head here because this grass is dying. Okay, well, we can put a head here because the grass is dying. But, as soon as we put a head here, you turn on the other heads around it, and the reason the grass is fucking dying is because these two heads are stopped up. Okay, well, I can put a head here, but it doesn't make sense for me to put a head here when these two guys can get it. We can replace these two guys, and we'll be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or when they say, well, I want a smart timer. Okay, well, why do you want a smart timer? Well, because it says I'm going to save money on water. Okay, well, that's not going to do you any good. Until we go, why are we even worried about a smart timer when we have all these other water efficient stuff that we can put in that will actually save you money? Because all the smart timer is going to do is water it what it thinks that it needs, and you're still going to have you're still going to end up spending the same amount of water. Ultimately, it's not going to save you anything. The only thing it's going to do is give you remote access, which if that's all you want, then that's fine. We can do that. But if your goal is to save water, there's other things that come before that. That's a part of it, but it's the end of the road.
Yeah.
That's like the thing you put on top that says we did it.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to stop being order takers.
Yeah.
Giving options. Here's a couple other things in here. I'm curious to see how other people... y'all should comment and see. Let us know where you have fallen into this now that 2024 is almost over. So, Service Titan said the 2024 revenue expectations: 51% of contractors expect revenue to remain the same or to increase up to 5%, 1 to 5%.
No.
So 51% only expected to increase revenue by 5% or to stay the same. So if you're in that, let us know you're in the 51%. 27% of contractors expect revenue to increase 6% or higher. If you're in that, let us know.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where we are. We're in the 27%. And 21% of the remaining expected revenue to decrease even 1% or more. So did anybody's revenue decrease in 2024? I'd be curious to know. in the irrigation or
Yeah, maybe just even wherever you are.
yeah,
It's
where,
just revenue expectations are the same across the board.
yeah.
It's just percentages.
This is through all industries and
This is all home service industry stuff.
all exterior and not even just people who are on Service Titan. This is outside of Service Titan. So yeah, did your revenue decrease? Did it increase more than 6%, or did it increase between 1% and 5%? This is interesting.
Yeah. Did your owner operator spend too much money on lottery tickets? Let us know.
I don't buy no dang lottery tickets. Roofing, 77%. The survey respondents pointed at roofing as the trade most likely to drive majority of annual revenue. Wonder why roofing is. 45% of exterior contractors enjoyed increased business. 20%. 20% reported increased annual profits. Yeah, I'm curious to see how people will line up to this annual budget allocation. 26% of their annual budget goes to labor, 34% to materials, 1.9% to technology, 1.6% to insurance, 2.4% to safety, 2.6% to marketing. That is crazy. That's so low. Equipment, 16.8%. Vehicles. See, we don't have 16% of our budget going to equipment. Not when vehicles 4.1.
Yeah, we have someone that likes to buy vehicles.
I mean, that's not, I can't believe it. That's nuts.
No comment.
No. But only 2.6% to marketing? That is nuts. I mean, I guess if everybody's having a problem with labor, maybe they're not marketing. Surveys showed some contractors are considering decrease in salaries for installers, managers, salespeople. Yeah.
You know, we already went through all that.
No,
right?
I know. I'm just seeing if there's anything we missed. I think that was about it. Well, I guess how long have we done?
I don't know. But if you're a loved one that's been harmed by a bad boss, please call our hotline.
What's the hotline?
I've called 3 times today.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking answers.
Nope. That number's shut off. It's supposed to
That
be
number
a clean
is your
show.
cell phone.
It's supposed to be a clean show. I'm gonna have a lot of beeps to put in.
No. What do you mean beeps?
Yeah.
You beep the cuss words?
I'm gonna have to.
Why?
It's supposed to be a clean show.
What? Who made that rule?
I don't know.
You?
Yeah.
Yeah, again. Call the hotline.
That's it. It's pretty interesting stuff. So I'm curious to see where everybody else is following.
All right. Well, I guess oh yeah, did we ever get our hunter money?
I got my hunter money. They didn't send you your check?
I'm calling the hotline again.
Yeah, you better call that hotline. Let's just save your number. We still got this Irrigation Mastermind Conference in January 7th through the 9th in Burlington, Massachusetts. If anybody wants to go, I think it's...
Nobody wants to go.
Yeah, I think people should go.
Are you getting paid to promote that?
Nope, not getting paid.
You should be, because you're doing a great job, because
Yeah.
nobody wants to go to that.
We'll see.
Are you going to go?
Nope. I'm not going to go. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know anybody's people there.
I imagine it's about irrigation, considering it says Irrigation Mastermind Conference.
We'll see. I might go. I don't know. If they're just going to be talking about, everybody always wants to talk about, look look how good I am at fixing leaks. Look how good I am at blowing out irrigation systems. I'm not interested in that. I am interested in talking about business. So if they're going to be talking about that, I might go. We'll see. They got some, there's a CEO of,
He's not going.
There's the CEO of Hindsight Software. I don't know that software, but that'd be cool. They might have some cool things there. Ear tech training. I don't know. We'll see. Anything that's going to help the industry, I'm trying to promote.
Congratulations, you're a poster boy.
Yeah. Trying to help these guys grow, help these guys change their mindset. Just thinking about that. I think too many people think growing happens naturally.
It does not.
It does not. It is forceful. It's
it's
intentional.
Very forceful.
Yeah. So, I guess we'll leave on that. Growth is intentional. Intentional growth. All right. We'll catch you next week. Be sure to like and subscribe. Any questions, comment them below or on our website.
Call the hotline.
Yeah.